come with me and you'll see how to change the Land Cruiser air filter. Hey there. Unfortunately, the 2018 Land Cruiser here behind me has developed a bit of a leak around the windshield on both the driver's and passenger side. Turns out that the cowl at the windshield is actually dry rotted and in need of replacement. We had the windshield replaced recently after a rock chip, and as a result, we have quite the gnarly gap here. Safelite was not exactly able to get it back in place where it needed to be, so it is up to me to replace it with that part we got down, right down there. So the first part of this process is going to be removing both windshield wiper arms. They are bolted into the windshield wiper motor, and to access those bolts, you first need to remove these caps. Right here, you can use like a trim removal tool, just kind of pop it in there, and pop this cover off pretty simply, where you can get access to a 14mm bolt. I already removed the cover from over here, as you can see. So we'll go ahead and start unbolting these wipers. Just go ahead. It seems like they're not super tight. Go ahead and reach across here. Break them loose. And then we'll go ahead and loosen them the rest of the way by hand. Place our nuts over there. Grab a step ladder so we can reach across to this side. And once we get those bolts removed, we should now be able to, one, lift the wiper arm up, take the tension off, and then just simply wiggle and pop that right off of there. Go ahead and set this off to the side here. Make sure we don't damage the wiper blade. And I'll go ahead and do the same thing over here. Give it a little wiggle and pop it off. A lot of the times they mention that you should mark your windshield, only because you want to make sure you get these on back in the right position, but we do have some marks from the wipers on the windshield themselves, so we should be in the clear. We'll go ahead and set that back down there, and let's go ahead and pop the hood. There she is, the 3UR engine, if I remember correctly. And so the objective, and apologies if the lighting is poor under here, is going to be to remove this cowl piece right here. And so the purpose of this, if you're not familiar, is of course, there's a seal that should be tight up against the windshield. As you can see, there's not. I can get my finger in there on both sides. And it's supposed to catch the rain, and then it drains through here. You can see there's some drain holes right down there. And that prevents, ultimately, water from getting down into where your cabin filter is and causing all kinds of other havoc while we're at it. So let's go ahead and see what we can do here. Chances are we're gonna have to do quite a bit of finagling. I'll see if I can get the camera mounted up here for us. before we get too far here, it would appear that one of the first steps you'll need to do is to remove these side trim pieces here from the engine bay. And it looks like we have a little connector up here. We'll need to pop that out. And at the very least, maybe we just pull this out here. And actually, we might not even need to disconnect that up at the front. So we can get that pulled out of the way, like so. So you can get to that cowl piece there. And then over here on the driver's side, we'll go ahead and do the same thing. And if you're curious, nope, I did not look up this full removal process before I began this project, so we're gonna wing it. We're gonna be in this together here. So I got that pulled to the side. Go ahead and do that to pull that out of the way. Shouldn't scratch the body panel at all. And then there's this little screw that we can go ahead and pop out right there. All right, so for simplicity, I went ahead and pulled these trim pieces out. There was only one rivet or plastic screw set in there. The rest of them kind of pulled out with the trim piece. I didn't want to break it. I didn't want to take the chance. So now I've removed these screws. Unfortunately, dropped one down into the abyss somewhere. I'll find that later. I think the big question I have is how to go about getting the windshield washer line out of here. I'm sure that this just kind of pops off, but anyway, so far it seems to be going pretty smoothly. Got a little bit of light shining in here from my magnetic flashlight from Olight. But let's see, definitely the other side is a lot looser than this one is, but just basically go ahead and pull it up. Not really worried about breaking this because, well, it is already broken. This side seems to be a little bit more secure, but you can still see, like, look at that gap. Been getting a lot of water in there. I need to replace the cabin filter, and I figured rather than replacing it only for it to get damaged and moldy again, might as well do this. The only concern I have at this point is hopefully I got the right part. We're gonna see. Anyways, let's see if I can do this. Okay, so welcome back to the haphazard mechanic show. We got the cowl removed. It was actually pretty easy. I ended up just disconnecting the windshield washer hose at the elbow. So you can see here, we got the cowl turned out. This is torn out, and this is it upside down. Right now, we now have to remove these washer ports. So I imagine that they are just clipped in here one way or another. This probably isn't something that I can do one-handed. Yeah, it looks like maybe do one, do the other. Yep, there we go. So we got one out, and so you can see they just kind of pop out. There are two little tabs. Actually, yeah, two little tabs up by the hose there, if you can see that. Just basically pop those out. As is, a little difficult to do one-handed, but it can be done. Can be done, everybody. So, okay, loosen this one up again. Sorry for the shoddy camera work. Bear with me. There we go. All right, got that pulled out. That just pops out. Like so. You do have some tethers up there. All right, so that, my friends, is your hose for the cowl and for your windshield wiper fluid. All right, so we removed the wiper fluid, windshield washer fluid hoses for no apparent reason, and consider this a lesson that you should always open your packaging, make sure you got what you need, find the dirt here. But anyways, this is the new cowl piece. And so we go ahead and flip this one over here. You can see a bit of a difference here. You know, obviously we got new seals. This one is brand new. I do have a Dalmatian. His hair gets everywhere. so you can see exactly what's going on, particularly when we flip this over like so. All of the weather stripping on this one is just deteriorated, and this one have a nice fresh foam lining there. Looks like good clips. I do notice there is this piece here. It's like a little flange that the original does not have. So hopefully that does not inhibit our ability to get this part installed. But I guess we'll see. We'll kind of play it by ear. I will see you again soon. And I actually think I just figured out what it is. So throughout the lifespan of the LC200, the URJ 200 series Land Cruiser, whatever you want to call it, obviously we've developed a bit of a leak over on that driver's side. And you know what? I think maybe that piece is actually broken off there. So you see here we have this flange, but it looks like there's another piece lying in there. Let's go investigate, because that might be, yeah, that's crazy. Look at that. So this is that piece. And so yeah, that just goes to show you just how badly deteriorated this cowl was. I don't know if another windshield was replaced at one point and they broke it off, or if I did that as part of the removal process, but there you go. So that is intended to be there. So let's go ahead and see if we can get this installed. I do need to do a little bit of scraping here. We got some glue that Safelite tried to use to put this back together, and you know what, they did a terrible job, but that's like Safelite for you, I guess. So let me go ahead and take a look at this and we'll see where we get. Okay, so by now, a few minutes later, we have the cowl seated. As you can see, I don't know if you remember from the beginning, maybe I'll put some sort of an overlay. There was a gap, now there is not. This is sitting flush against the windshield the way it is supposed to. We got this, seems to be seated there correctly. This lines up with that hole over there. And if we come all the way to this side of the cruiser, we can see we got the same fitment over here. This one is still a little loose. Not exactly sure if it's catching the windshield there properly, or clicking in. I suppose once we have this anchored here, should take care of itself. I can't imagine that it's really going to wiggle out. But the wiper motor bolts are sticking through, whatever you want to call them. So I feel like that this is probably as good as it's going to get for now. Alrighty, so we got the wiper arms back installed. Pop that cap back on over there. Pop that cap back on over here. They appear to be properly positioned so that they are sitting on the heating element. And now, while we're at it, we will go ahead and replace the air filter, which I have one of these right here. Come with me and you'll see how to change the Land Cruiser air filter. Don't hit the wall. Do-do-do, I forget how I have to do this. Just kidding. I was right. I was heading in the right direction here. Silly me. So anyways, if we go ahead and shine a light in here, apologies, it's bright. All you have is a simple cassette right here. These things are super easy to service. It's almost laughable that I forgot how to do this. Can you believe it? Anyway, go ahead and jump in here. Try and do this one-handed. Always easier said than done. But we got it. So go ahead. We'll reach in here. That seems like the wrong filter, but maybe not. Anyways, it actually looks okay, but this thing, goodness. They They sure are flimsy. Isn't that right? Well, anyway, I don't know that it really matters. Actually, it does. You can see right here. Up. So go ahead and pop that filter right in there. See? Got the filter in here. Listen, I don't know about you, but this still feels small. I feel like I remember my last Land Cruiser having a much bigger filter. Anyway, I could be wrong. Sorry for the crappy camera work. Once again, now we'll go ahead and all right, well, if you made it this far, thank you. Thanks for putting up with my pretty terrible camera work, if I say so myself. We went ahead, we replaced the cowl, we hooked the windshield wiper system back up, and we replaced the cabin air filter. So until next time, I hope you're well. Thanks for hanging out with me. Make sure you like and subscribe and do all those cool things. I'm just getting this channel started. I still don't know what I'm doing, but we'll keep it real, we'll keep it raw, and you'll learn alongside of me. So until next time, take care. Bye.